So Trump turns homelessness response towards forced treatment. Oh, excuse me. President Trump is vowing a new approach to getting homeless people off the streets by forcibly moving those living outside into large camps while mandating mental health and addictive treatments. An aggressive departure from the national's leading homelessness policy, which for decades had prioritized housing as the most effective way to combat the crisis. Our once great cities have become unlivable, unsanitary nightmares, Trump said in a presidential campaign video. For those who were severely mentally ill and deeply disturbed, we will bring them mental institutions where they belong with the goal of reintegrating them back into society once they're all well enough to manage. Now that he's in office, the assault on housing first has begun. White House officials have announced a formal policy before opening the doors to a treatment first agenda, while engineering a major overhaul of the housing and social services program that forms the backbone of the homelessness response system that cities and counties across the nation depend on. Nearly $4 billion was earmarked last year alone. But now Scott Turner, who leads Mr. Trump's Department of Housing and Urban Development, the agencies responsible for administrating housing and homelessness funding, have outlined massive funding cuts and called for a review of taxpayer spending. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, we are no longer in business as usual. Posture and Doge task force will play critical roles in helping to identify and eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse, and ultimately better serve the American people, Turner said in a statement. Staffing cuts are already proposed would hit the part of the agency overseeing homelessness spending and housing first initiatives particularly hard. Mr. Trump outlined his vision during his campaign, calling for new treatment facilities to be open on large parcels of government land. 10 cities where the homeless can be relocated and their problems identified. They can receive treatment and rehabilitation or face arrest. Now in office, he has begun to turn his attention to street homelessness. In March, ordering Washington, D.C. to sweep encampments, potentially separating homeless people from their case managers and social service providers, derailing their path to housing. So
I don't see him wanting to do anything to fix this problem.
Oh,
this is not. I don't believe that. Basically, he's making internment camps for him. He's like, hey, you don't want to get fixed. You don't want to get fixed. I mean, basically, this person could have mental illness problems, bad ones, because he's not open. They're already closing down mental illness facilities. They don't care about that. They're like, oh, do you want to work or not? Oh, you don't want to work? Huh? Oh, you got a problem, because most of them got problems. They living on the street. Imagine what you have to be. That's like living in the Stone Age, living on the street, pretty much. Not really, because there's more. You get it. You guys get it though. I mean, you're living on the street. You got very few real access to real amenities in life. I mean, so these people probably have like mental health issues, drug issues. You don't just, if you don't get solved the first time with the drug issues, then you're just no good.
Oh, there's no first time. You understand what he's saying here, right? First of all, it's illegal to be homeless.
Yeah.
And in America, period. It's illegal. So if you're homeless on the streets, they can arrest you. They don't want you to fill to jail. Now they have the camps to do it. A lot of people that are homeless just can't bounce back from being homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, you think about it. You miss 2 weeks of work. You have no leave, right? You already missed a month because of COVID. Now you miss 2 more weeks. You lose your job. You lose your job. You lose your house, right? You're sleeping in your car and you're ducking getting a repo because you probably got a car payment. Now that's why you're homeless, because you can't afford to bounce back. And so now they're going to round these people up. Yes. And yes, are there homeless people that have drug addictions and that are mentally ill? Yes, there are most of them. But there's a lot of people too that are just homeless because they can't afford to live nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to round you up, put you in a camp. They're going to force treatment on you if you need it or not. And if you don't take the treatment, then what? They're going to lock you up.
They're going to lock you up, man. Pretty much. I mean, it's
an attack on poor, the elderly, and let's put it at the end of the line, Black folks.
And let's be real. I mean, even a large portion of this is, we have to look at it from this perspective as well. Like you said, attack on the poor. This is what he's been doing. Okay, so he takes away your Medicaid. This is what he's already talking about. Planning on making massive cuts to Medicaid. You're poorer now. Social Security, you're even poorer than. You might lose your home because certain other cuts. Food benefits, losing. I mean, now you got food benefits. Now you got to pay for your kids' school lunch. Now they want to make you pay for your kid to go to school. Oh, they're only going to do it based off of your income. So what? They're doing it based off your income. You probably don't even own a house. Most people don't pay for school directly like that. Levies and things like that pay for schools, which I believe the federal government should be paying for school. Pre-K through 12, all the way through. That's just my personal feeling about them. I mean, all the way through college. But I mean, this is a direct attack on poor. He has done nothing to try and help poor people at all. Nothing. He hasn't even. There has been no outreach to this. To not even just poor, working poor, middle class, upper middle class. Because in reality, those classes are still poor. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't. The money doesn't stretch out as long as it used to, and so this right here, it's not scary because we saw it coming with the Supreme Court making the rulings that they made in Oregon. I think they made the same one down in Texas as well about being homeless is against the law. I mean, you can't sleep outside, or now you can be arrested for it. We saw this coming from a mile away.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's highly sad what they're doing, but it's going to take for everybody just to stand up and say we've had enough, which it won't happen. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how they're going to do it. Because I mean, a lot of people are about to go homeless pretty soon. A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot more.
A lot more.
You cut these programs, man. You just cut $500 million from food banks. That's like $50 million. Like $10 million per state.
You're letting disease ravage our country. You're letting the prices of everything going up. I mean, something's going to have to give. And then by the time you guys are all ready to revolt and it actually affects you, it'll be too late because no one's going to have your back because everyone's going to be too hungry.
I mean, he already said he doesn't care. He didn't want to hear about it. He didn't want to hear about what your problems are with your grocery prices. He didn't want to hear about none of that stuff.
Foils up.
Like, what are you talking about, man? We won't talk about that. We got other stuff to do. We're going to bring your prices up even higher. We're going to threaten GM and the rest of these car manufacturers to tell them, you better not raise the prices of your cars. Then go back and say, I don't care if they raise the prices of their cars, because he knows his policies are bad. They're flawed. This is why he keeps changing them on the fly, because he doesn't have a real plan. He has a concept of a plan. This is what we bought. This is what this country bought. A strong man. You guys, I mean, it's a weak man's mentality to ever think that a strong man is really a strong man when you know he's weak. He's showing you that he's weak.
No, it's bully
everything
tactics.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? When you go out,
it ain't even bully tactics. It's soft. Hey, that's not even. You're not even a bully, because a real bully, a real man's gonna see through a fake bully. He's a fake bully. Period.
It's just bully tactics, bro. Because, you know, like a bully, he'll keep flinching on you. But once you flinch back, you'll be like, oh, whoa.
And that's exactly what he's been doing with all these tariffs. That's what he's been doing with all these different tariffs that he's had. As soon as somebody flinched back, whoa, if you don't do this, I'll bomb you, Iran. If this doesn't happen, I'm going to make even bigger, tariffs against you, Canada. I'm going to do. I mean, it's just crazy, man, that we've gotten to this point that we've allowed these people, not just him, the people who voted for him, to be the people who speak for this country, because you guys didn't get out and vote. You didn't support the right person. Sometimes the right person, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. That's the realest quote I can give you guys right there.